network check, or you do network checks, or you do like radio checks, making sure your device works. A lot of people don't even, when they're texting or when they're using their phone, they don't even know like how their phone works. They just go on and they know how social media works and all that stuff, but they don't know all this, like they don't go into the systems and understand what's going on with that, or who could hack into your phone, or if the government's listening, all that jazz. Who's collecting your information on your apps? I think I think the internet is a beautiful thing, but it's quite unfortunate that we have these awesome devices, yet all of the data and stuff in there can be used. I'd almost rather purchase a device from from some company that wasn't like had to go under like corporate LLC laws or whatever like that. I'd rather just purchase it from a person who made it or something like that. Anyways, what was I saying? Why am I forgetting? Wow. We're all gonna die. Dementia. Dementia has leaked into people from Joe Biden. There's other like there's other like protocols and words that are used, like for instance, like in the military we use the phonetic alphabet to explain, to like spell out words, or just as like other things like Alpha Bravo Charlie. It's just so that like we don't mix up the word B or the letter B and E, or somebody hears it wrong. It just makes things easier and more clear. Okay, so an example of like a quick conversation of radio etiquette, and this would be good to use just as like kind of like a reference of like how direct communication should be used, or like kind of clarify like how you communicate with other people in just a general situation. Did the other person hear and understand your message? Are you confirming that they heard your and understanding your message? Did you confirm with the other person that you understood them? Like, a lot of problems within people and humans is that we don't understand each other. We don't empathize with each other. We don't try to understand the other person, and that's a problem. That's a problem for me, and that's the main problem here on the planet. And even just on the internet is like people will respond to something and they don't know the full story. And that's not, I don't completely blame people. I blame like corporations and stuff, and especially like social media, in the sense of like we only get little spigots of information, and that's what we're given. That's why I highly like, and our time here is, we don't want to be wasting our time here either. So people who go out, who like spend the time to actually research like the full all sides of a situation or thing or research paper or whatever, I give them a lot of credit, because that means you're actually using your brain and thinking about things before responding or reacting. So an example would be like a two-way radio conversation. Hawk 2, this is Hawk 2, Hawk 1, over. That was Hawk 1 saying that. Hawk 2, go ahead, Hawk 1, over. Hawk 1, Hawk 2, enemy track 2 kilometer west, break. Hawk 1, take 2 kilometer east at Delta Shack, read back, over. Hawk 2, I read back, enemy track 2 kilometer west, take over 2 kilometer east at Delta Shack, over. Hawk 1, correct, over. Hawk 2, Wilco, over. Hawk 1, Roger, out. Wilco means will comply. And actually, people say Roger is like a confirmation that they understood, and they'll say over after the end of a conversation, or after each message relayed, meaning that their message didn't get cut off. That was the full message, over. You're over communicating that message. And then for the conversation to completely end, they say they say out at the end. And we'll say Roger out, but when I was in, we used that's a good copy out, or that's a good copy over. Again, like I said, everything was accounted for in the military. Yeah, again, here they used 2 kilometer east, Delta Shack. So it would be D Shack, like the letter D, Shack, but instead they used Delta from the phonetic alphabet. Yeah, it says in the military, the person initiating a conversation usually is the senior ranking official. Out of respect, this individual normally will be the one to say out to end the transmission. Yeah, so there's just kind of like a little example. And even like if you're in a scenario, like let's say a hurricane, and you want to help out, or you're part of a team that's helping out, and you're using walkie-talkies or radios, that information is golden. Because if you are, like, let's say you're with a random group of people, you get put with a random group of people and you're all tasked to use a radio, you have no training, they have no training, but you're the one who knows that information. That means you can set up and like teach them even while using the radios, like how to communicate or how to talk, and they'll pick that up too. It's really easy, like once you get going, because it's just a natural thing and it makes sense. And a lot of times, even if you are just fooling around or whatever, people will naturally start to do that as well. They hear police officers and other people do it, and they say 10-4, or like that's like I don't know, I'm not a police officer, but I think 10-4 means information understood or something like that. Or I don't know, is 10-7 might be I'm going to use the bathroom or something. I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah. Sorry, this is probably more informal than a formal video about communication and radio etiquette. Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest problems, again, that I'm seeing in the world today, with people interacting with other people, just as a group, socially, or just like on a species level. Is like they're not understanding the other person, and the other person's not understanding them, and they're trying to like headbutt each other to like communicate, or they're not even communicating at all. And that's one thing I really, really don't like, is like you will withhold truth, information, or communication just because you want them to do something and they don't know what you want them to do. So what the fuck? You know? Or if somebody's doing something that you don't want them to do, but you just sit there and you're just like, what the fuck is the point of that? Say, stop fucking doing that. Or you say, hey, can you please stop doing that? It's bothering me, or whatever. Or can we figure out something else? And most of the time they'll be like, yeah, I'm really sorry, I didn't realize I was bothering you. And they'll like stop what they're doing and they'll go somewhere else. Or in certain circumstances, if they don't, then you'd be like, okay, fuck you, and you get your buddy from down the block and be like, this guy's fucking bothering me. No, I'm just kidding. Like for instance, I was at the bus stop on a park bench by myself, and I saw this woman walking up towards me, and I just acknowledged. I said hi. And she lit up a cigarette. She sat down right next to me and lit up a cigarette. And I was like, ugh, I was disgusted. I was really pissed. And I didn't want to deal with the situation, so I just got up and I just left and I sat on a different bench. But I could have said, "Hey, can you go sit on the other bench instead of lighting a cigarette up right next to me? I'm actually like really disgusted and I think I might be allergic to cigarette smoke or whatever." And it's just one of those things, is like, if that person is going to be respectful, then give them a chance to be respectful. If not, then fuck them. Like, they'll get their karma. I have full faith in the universe, and I have full faith in certain individuals, and full faith in nature, that those people who don't consider or respect another person just as a human being, they will get their karma. It's the law of correspondence. What you do unto other people will be done unto you. So, yeah. I hope this video was informative. I'm going to continue to try and make more informative videos to try and help situations, because most of the time I'm usually just helping myself because I'm annoyed. But people could benefit a lot just using like a structured protocol of something like communication in this instance. It really is simple. It really is simple. If people just simplify things and, don't take things so personally, it's just a communication. You want communication and connection with another person so that you can get things done, or information can be understood, and we can create win-win situations together. I think that's beautiful. So have a good day, and I'll see you next time.